back with us on the C Morning Show. There is this psychological, I don't know whether it's is a disorder or it's a phenomenon where people are afraid of failure. I think a lot of us are afraid of failure and try to avoid failure, but the fear of failure in anything is experienced by most people, and this can stem from a number of reasons, really.
Exactly, and there's also a whole range of phobias, such as fear of starting a new job. Let's say this is a new year, or fear of facing work targets and deadlines, as well as fear of criticism and maybe fear of love.
Fear of love.
Fear of love.
It's like you stopped me just there. I'm thinking, I was like, fear of love, that's very interesting. Now, this morning, it's the first time that I heard about this phobia. It's called the Atychiphobia or Atychiphobia. Not sure yet, but we're going to confirm with the psychologist. This is an extreme fear that affects a person's activity and ability in their daily lives. So to discuss this, we have social psychologist Regina Navira here.
Yes.
Good morning, Regina.
Good
morning, Marisa and Caroline.
It's a very mouthful, by the way, this phobia, right?
It is Atychi or Atychi or Atiki?
Actually, it's like Atychiphobia.
Atychiphobia, there you go.
I see. What is this exactly? Because, I mean, we do have fear of failure. I mean, and I thought that's very common, but this is a different condition, isn't it? Could you please explain?
Yeah, actually, Atychiphobia, it's like not an official. This is an official definition. We don't have it on psychological or psychiatric textbook, actually.
Okay.
It's under the umbrella of phobias.
Right.
Like Atychi. It's like fear of failure, but it's more than fear on doing something or achieve the goals. It's more than that.
Okay.
Because it involves very negative thoughts and extremely worry, and some of people can lead to think about that we are not good enough to be ourselves, or we will like disappoint people in our life. So that kind of the thing that can lead us for having any syndrome for this thing, like it's like not really symptom, but kind of a phenomena.
How do you differentiate between Atychiphobia and just a regular fear of failure? Because all of us have fear of failure.
Yeah, and that's normal.
Yeah, it's normal, right?
Yeah, because it's like positive stress, or we can say it's like eustress when it becomes more positive. But the different thing when it like change our life and has no beneficial for us. It's like give us very like it will lead us for having like stress and any mental health condition.
Right.
And make us for having very bad performance in relevant domains in our daily life. So that's the thing, that's the different thing.
So it's very severe, it seems. Because I remember when I was going to give birth to my firstborn, I have the fear of, it cripples to me. It just came into me like that just hours before I gave birth, because I thought, would I be a good mother? I'm fearing that I would not be a good mother. You know, how could I be the best for, my child and whatnot? And that fear just crept up to me. But I guess this is more on a long run, right? It seems because it's a repetition, it's always there and whatnot, hence it becomes a phobia. So, Regina, what was the trigger of this? What's the main cause? Is it past traumas that someone had? Hence, that's why they have this, it's very mouthful, by the way, Atychiphobia, is that right? Okay. I don't want to butcher that, by the way.
Okay, actually, like traumatic life experiences and like high stress are linked in various mental health conditions. And Atychiphobia has no different with it. Like mental, cognitive, emotion, and also physical, like for example, like emotional abuse or emotional neglect. And also, it's like a parenting style. When the children, when they have like a very protective parents.
Overly protective.
Yeah, overprotective. And it can lead them for being a fear of failure in the future.
Right.
Yeah.
Right, because there's no space for them to make those failures, right? Because they're afraid of their parents to be mad at them or shout at them and whatnot, so they're afraid of those failures. Yes, Caroline, keep notes. I'm like reflecting to myself right now, yes.
Like put like a very high on accomplishment. It makes them like so hard for being a child.
So what sort of parenting would help us avoid this disorder?
Yeah, parenting style, it's really help us when someone have like very cooperative or authoritative parents. Of course, it will help like the child to have very secure and higher self-esteem. When the child have high self-esteem, they can perform good and they can be the best version of themselves. And of course, they have positive affirmation when they have to against the failure.
Yeah. What are the symptoms for, let's say, if a child, we're talking about just in this case, a parent that, you know, have been very strict and overprotective. What would be the symptoms of the child if they say have this phobia, and could this actually be retrained back? Can actually this can be resolved in the future?
Okay, but actually, as I said before, it's not syndrome, so it shouldn't be have like any symptoms.
Okay.
Yeah, but still there are some factors about atychiphobia. Like for example, the person with a higher dose of atychiphobia or fear of failure, they will put like all the effort on preventing the lose rather than achieving gain.
Oh,
Yeah, that's the
okay.
thing. And also, sometimes, not sometimes, in many ways, they avoid the situation in which they can be evaluated and judged. Yeah, because they feel afraid. And also sometimes they put very low expectation or standard for themselves, like on purpose.
Right.
This is interesting because it's almost opposite, because I assume that someone with atychiphobia, because they avoid failure so much, then that means that they will prepare very well and they will exceed and they will succeed, you know. But at the same time, there is this other side where, oh, you know, because I'm so afraid of failure, I'm not going to try anyway. I'm not going to even risk trying doing this particular thing that may give me happiness. So how do you explain these two? I mean, are there two kinds of group of people who experience atychiphobia? One that is very high achieving and one is very low achieving?
Actually, they will like put low value for themselves. Like,
So they won't be high achieving.
no, even though they can do it better.
Right.
Yeah, because they feel like afraid, because they're focusing on preventing losses.
Yes.
They don't want to achieve something or put
Right.
like higher value even they can do it.
Okay. So there's no high achievers in atychiphobia.
Yeah.
Just note that.
Yeah, and it seems it would probably affect our life. Let's say if like you have your fear of love, right? And if you're that person that you're fearing, you're in a bad relationship, but you're afraid that you will not find another love. So I'm just gonna stick to this bad relationship over and over, and your self-value is very less because you think that I cannot get anyone better. I cannot get a better relationship in this. Would that be also a part of atychiphobia?
Yeah, it possibly part of atychiphobia because they don't want to leave the toxic relationship.
Right.
Like, yeah, like
Right.
you said, because they don't want to take any chance in the future or challenge because they don't.
Right.
Yeah, because they don't want to start the new relationship with maybe someone better, like in the future.
They're a fear of that. So they're a
Yeah.
fear of everything in daily aspects of their life.
Wow.
Yeah.
So how do people with atychiphobia overcome it?
Yes.
Yeah, actually, how to overcome the atychiphobia? It's like fear of failure. It's like it just change our perspective that failure, it's not that bad.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sometimes we need to change our perspective that
Right.
rather than seeing this as a disaster in our life,
Yes.
we can see this as a chance to grow and learn and have like a very positive affirmation to ourselves, forgive ourselves. It's okay to fail. It's just the chance for you to grow and be mature.
Yeah.
And yeah, just change the perspective, positive. I think self-esteem is like affect how people can see themselves as a good person
Yes.
and for being enough for
Yes.
themselves.
That's really tough, isn't it? Especially if you grow up with parents who always make you feel that you're not good enough.
Right.
And there's actually a lot of that, right?
Yeah.
There's a lot of that because, you know, just as simple as parents loving you based on how well you do at school.
Yeah.
It's like a lot happened.
Yes.
A lot of children experience that. Oh, when you get A, then I love you. You can get anything that you want. But if you get D or F, what happened? You know, it's
Yeah.
like, so I guess we do need to change the way we parent our children. And Regina, I completely agree with what you said, that we just need to to challenge that voice in our head, which is like, oh, failure is actually okay. It's part of growth. It's actually a stepping stone for me to grow, to be better. But oftentimes, it is challenging to rewire that voice, isn't it?
Yeah.
Right? That voice that usually comes from our parents, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So can you tell us how we can rewire, because it needs to be habitual, right?
Yes.
So how do we rewire so that that voice can change? That, oh, failure is okay. Nothing wrong.
Yeah.
Everybody fails, and it's okay.
For not become toxic.
Yes.
Yeah, toxic positivity.
Yes. That too. We don't want to go from here to here, right? We
Yes.
want to be in the middle.
Yeah. And it's quite hard actually, but some people can do it like with practice. Just have like meditate, give some space for yourself, but think about your past and just, okay, when you can do it alone at home, just feel enough to yourself and just accept your past. I mean, your inner child maybe from your parents. I know it's hard and everyone, okay, just say that some people are victim from their parents and we need to accept this and just forgive this. Forgive yourself first for conditional love from your parents.
Right. Yeah, it could happen from parents. It could happen from a significant other. It could happen from the boss at your office and whatnot. And, giving you that kind of, aggravation every day would make you, phobia of fear of failure. So those are the mantras that you need to do that you just said before. But how can we take it step by step? Because like Marissa mentioned, sometimes it's very hard to take that first step, right? Again, we have to know that we have to love ourselves. We know we have to change. We know that, the world would be okay if we failed. But what can we do to take that first significant step?
Actually, about the how and the step, every people are different. So we have like different traits, personality, and sometimes we need to understand or acknowledge about how we feel, about what you feel about yourself and what you want. Just understand first about yourself and what you want. And after that, you can find the coping strategy that you can make yourself enjoy and feel better, and then you can think clearly about it and can handle any problem in front of you and help your cognitive perspective being more positive, not toxic, but being more realistic about it. That's the first thing, that you have to acknowledge what you want and what you need. Don't think about, okay, any variable outside there or what people think about you, what people say about you. Just look deep inside your heart. Just follow your heart first. Sometimes it's hard for everyone. Yeah, exactly. That's the thing. But after this, when you are like, find the good way to find this, just try to do this as your coping strategy. But when it's like going worse or you cannot really handle this, I think someone needs to go to a professional.
Right.
That's true. That's true.
And it's okay to go to professional. I mean, I'm very open that I go to one. And
I go to one as well.
Yes. And we do need the help of an expert, right? And I think it really made a good, I think it's a good decision because we do need to have a good mental health and mental, condition itself and, a wellness within you. So it's okay when you think that you can't do it anymore. And sometimes talking to your loved ones or to your best friends and whatnot, you just need someone that's objective and seeing it from the helicopter view and whatnot. And I think professionals and experts can do that too.
Absolutely. And I completely agree with you, Regina. I think we both agree with you that sometimes we do have to analyze ourselves first in a way to look deep inside. Especially for those who have trust problems, right? I mean, they don't easily open up to people, so it means that they have to take the time and, like make space for themselves to really look deep inside. And sometimes I find writing in a journal is very helpful to, to sort of like sort out the kinks that I have in my head that is probably not clear yet.
Yes.
But somehow when you write and then you read again, okay, I think I get what was going on inside my mind before.
So it's your coping strategy.
It is, right? You're right. That each person has a different coping strategy, and I do combine it by going to a therapist.
Or find new hobbies and passion, why not, right? And working out and whatnot, so probably that could help too.
Yeah,
But I guess, again, just to mention, if someone out of you right there watching this and you feel like, you're afraid of failure, everybody does, right? We just take it step by step, and it's a progress. We always need to progress and enjoy the process.
Yes. All right. Thank you so much, Regina,
Thank
for
you
your
so much.
insight.
We need more me time with Regina.
I know. That's why I was like, We need me time, so let's take a break here. Let's break the discussion. We're going to come back with more stories for you, and also please follow us on our social media accounts if you haven't already. We're on Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube at See Today News. We'll be right back.